AmericanEnergy.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sacktown Sports.
Let's go, baby.
It's time for the Return of the Empire podcast. 1 hour of all things red and gold. Return of the Empire. Here are your hosts, Sacktown Sports 49ers insider Emil Fragoso and Nate Littlefield.
Yes, sir. Back again, Emil Fragoso, Nate Littlefield. Return of the Empire. And boy, Nate, the Empire struck back. And boy, they strike back really hard against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 10. I mean, wow. That was actually special. It really was to watch that game. And if you don't know what this is, Return of the Empire, 49ers live show podcast every single week, Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. I am your host, Emil Fragoso, Niners insider for Sacktown Sports. Of course, joined by Nate Littlefield, Niners fanatic, Niners fan, Niners faithful.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Is it?
It's good to be back.
Better than last week?
Niners and Kings are back. This is a Niners show, but I had to give a shout out to the Kings. Things are better. Basing a lot of my happiness on my sports teams.
Me too.
So I'm a happy guy right now.
I was at Kings Cavs last night, and boy, let me tell you, I had the time of my life. It was so much fun watching the Kings defeat the Cavaliers.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching the Niners beat up on the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And it felt a lot closer than what the final score was.
Yeah.
Because, it felt like they were right there for a while. It was 13-3 for a little bit.
At half, yeah, it was.
Yeah. Man, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm here and I'm happy.
Feels like the Force awakened.
Yeah, the Force has awakened.
You see, this is why, if you don't know, Kyle Ledbetter on the ones and twos back there. Kyle, you're the man. I appreciate you.
They call me the Phantom Menace. That's episode 1.
Is that our last Jedi joke?
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Okay. I swear. I'm trying to get back on track.
Come on, get back on track.
I'm trying here, just trying to strike back like the Empire anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Niners 34-3 was the final score. And like Nate said, it didn't feel like a blowout like this because at halftime it was 13-3. But the second half, man, they just poured it on. And it really started with that George Kittle touchdown.
Yeah, it was great. That George Kittle touchdown really opened the door. I think the Trevor Lawrence play for the Jaguars was just where was he at? He reminded me of Tim Rattay on the Niners way back when. He just really didn't have –
look at you.
He didn't have the skills to get it done. The offense was clicking. The defense was on fire.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get into Steve Wilkes on the sideline thing pretty soon. The first thing I want to get out of the way, because I don't want to spend too much time on it because it is the one negative – is the McCaffrey streak is over.
Oh,
yeah. Hit 17. He says he sucks.
Boo-hoo. It's over.
I wanted him to get that so bad.
Oh, we all did.
I can't believe they left him one-on-one at the end.
That was super funny, dude.
Yeah.
I suck. Everyone else on the team scored except for me.
Yeah, poor guy.
Poor guy.
Suck.
They had a chance, too.
I suck.
They had a chance, too, because Kyle Juszczyk got that touchdown late in the fourth quarter. And if Kyle just falls to the 1 yard line, they probably just run it in. But no, Kyle wants to get a touchdown.
When you watch the games, obviously you're not there at the away games.
No.
When you're watching the games, you watch with commentary on, or what do you do?
With on.
Okay,
yeah.
so Moose, the old fullback for the Dallas Cowboys back in the day, was calling it, and he was like, "Oh, Juice. Normally, I'd be so happy to see a fullback get a touchdown when I'm calling the game, but." Man, you could see Juice was trying to plant his feet and go down for his guy.
It didn't happen.
But yeah, it was a funny call.
They ran the vertical seam a little too well.
Yeah,
it's
a little too good.
Hey, a touchdown's a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
And that's really the reality is that this Niners team, after 3 weeks of just being Jekyll and Hyde and being the bad part of Jekyll and Hyde, not knowing who they were, the defense was getting blown up. Hyde?
That's the bad part.
Hyde's the bad part?
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, Dr. Jekyll is the scientist, and then Mr. Hyde is the alter ego that I think is a rampage. I've never read the books.
It's basically like the Hulk.
Okay.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Well, they were Hyde for the last 3 weeks. They were on a rampage of not playing well. They were just not showing up. They weren't them. They felt like they lost their heart and soul. And I don't know if it was bringing Steve Wilkes down from the booth or it was Chase Young doing the gritty before the game. But let me tell you, from the first snap, that defense was ready to play.
Yeah, they were. And they crushed them. And this Chase Young Bosa team up is pretty good.
And shame on all other NFL teams are letting Chase Young go to the 49ers. I'm looking at you, Bears. I'm looking at you, Ravens. Shame on you because Chase Young on the Niners is not fair.
How did the Niners get away with this trade?
A comp 3?
Yeah, a comp 3. It just...
I respect Washington because they were like, it seems like a lot of effort to like negotiate a contract or franchise tag, and we'll just take our comp pick now.
But they did it for both of their star defensive tackles, or defensive ends. Both of them, Montez Sweat and Chase Young on the same day.
Yeah, but they did get a first-round pick for Montez Sweat, basically.
Basically. But to be fair, if you're looking at reports, Chase Young, they wanted a second and a fifth. But after the Niners and John Lynch did a little finagling, they said, hey, look at the injury history, look at the contract, look at this, look at this, look at this. They convinced Washington to go to get a 3 comp. That's it. That's all it took because John Lynch is a master finesser, and congratulations to the 49ers.
So I'm looking at the YouTube chat right now. We got Megadeth in there. He's talking about the pass rush is what he expected to be the whole year, which I think is a general consensus between everybody ever, right? Like everyone expected this D-line to be so dominant. I think the Nick Bosa holdout has been a hangover that lasted a long time, whether people want to debate me on that or not. I genuinely think he's just kind of getting his stride back.
I agree.
They shouldn't have had to add Chase Young to be this good, but they did.
Here we are.
Yeah. So let's
just looking at the chat as well. Jess asked, did Emil wear a Sonics jersey last night? No, I didn't. I wore a Kings jersey. Reggie Theus, by the way. Shout out Reggie Theus, one of Sacramento's originals. Anyway.
So yeah, this McCaffrey thing, I just want to tie a bow on that.
Yeah.
It sucks. He got to 17 though. That's great. I'll take it. He's the man. But now let's just get into our guy, Brock Purdy.
I feel like I had to defend Brock Purdy a little too much the last couple of weeks. He was playing very well in all of their losses, right? Mm-hmm. All of their losses, playing pretty well.
Yeah.
Yet he kept having these costly turnovers. 5 picks in 3 weeks. At the worst times too, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Vikings
game. Then against the Bengals, he had 2 back-to-backs. It was like, what the heck is going on here? Brock Purdy silenced some haters this week, let me tell you. Brock Purdy, 296 passing, 3 tutties, no interceptions, a 148 quarterback rating. I mean, Brock now is the leader in the NFL in QBR, by the way.
Yes, he is, in front of Patrick Mahomes and number 3, Dak Prescott. So do what you want with that information. QBR is one of those weird stats. He's pretty significantly higher than Patrick Mahomes, by the way. 76.4 for Brock Purdy, 72.9, 72.7 for the next 2. That's Mahomes and Prescott.
Yep.
Josh Allen's on there too. I don't know how long he's going to be on the floor.
Going down a little bit.
Yeah. Brock, so impressive right now. The way he's playing, he's slinging it. That throw to George Kittle you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
When I thought he got that off first, I thought his arm got hit or something. Mm-hmm. And when I first saw that go in the air, I'm like, that's an interception.
Yep.
I didn't realize till, you see the catch, you see the touchdown. They play it back. He flicked it right out of the pocket, like perfectly without touching anyone. I thought he got crushed.
Yeah, we all
on
did.
that play. No, he flicks it out, and Kittle makes the perfect adjustment because he had, I believe that was a corner on him.
It was a linebacker.
It was a linebacker.
It was Devin Lloyd.
Small. Okay. How big is Devin Lloyd? He did not look that big.
He's not a massive linebacker, but he's like 6 foot, 6'1".
Okay, yeah. So Kittle just works him. There's no safety.
Reported 6'3".
Oh, okay. A little even bigger than that.
Again, reported 6'3".
So we're 6'3" with shoes.
We'll say with cleats on.
He's my height.
Okay.
I'm 6'2" on a good day.
With high heels.
Are you really?
On a good day. I'm like 6'1" and 7/8.
I don't know. I'm short. I don't know.
I'm 5'10". Anyways.
On a good day.
Yeah. Kittle. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy just walk in from like 10 yards out like
he was doing the Madden celebrations.
Dude, that was brutal. I said this morning on our Styles and Watkins I was producing that Greg Papa call was over like before he was even in the end zone. He was like on the touchdown, the down part. By the time he reached it, it's just so impressive. Jess thinks the gritty really helped, she says in the chat,
And I wrote an article about this actually yesterday about how important Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel are because I think it was overblown the last couple of weeks, especially when you're going through the season. They're 5-0, undefeated. Who is the most valuable on this team? Is it Brandon Ayuk? Is it Deebo Samuel? I get it. Ayuk has a lot of the receiving stats. But what Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams bring to this offense, especially Trent Williams, just emotionally, as the leaders, the vocal leaders of this team, it's so evident when you have your guys that walk out with you in the boombox entrance and they're not playing. It's just a different vibe. Chase Young even talked about after the game about how it's an experience I've never had in my life. It was an incredible experience to be a part of this. And that's a culture thing. Yeah. Sometimes you just need a culture win. And they had that this week, and that's why they went out and played the way they did.
Yeah. So on the notes here, you wrote that this was debatably the most complete game of the season for the 49ers.
Yeah.
I would think the big argument against that is Dallas.
Yeah.
Do you think Dallas and the Jaguars are in the same tier? Different divisions, obviously, different conferences. So do you
yes.
think, do you kind of see them in the same tier?
Good teams that beat up bad teams. They don't beat anyone good.
Both would lose a road playoff game at Kansas City / Philadelphia.
I think most teams would. But yeah.
Yes.
They would They would be 6.5 point underdogs.
Just like the whole thing with Dallas is that they're in a bad division as is besides the Eagles because the Giants and the Commanders are horrible.
Yeah,
they're horrible. And the Dallas Cowboys, I get it, they beat up the Giants who are starting a good fellow quarterback. It's all right. But look, Dallas is really talented. Yeah. They're very much a top to bottom talent team. But I think the example the Niners have shown the last two big games they've had, week 5 against Dallas and week 10 against the Jaguars, two teams that were hot at that time. Two teams that everyone was like, are they with the Niners? Are they this good? Are they on this level?
It was a litmus test for both teams.
And they squashed them. Yeah. They smacked them. It wasn't even a contest. At least it was a different sport half the time.
Yeah, yeah. So which one do you think? So you think the Jaguars game was a more complete win? Because I really want to say the Niners beating the Cowboys was a more complete win because I think that was more impressive at the time.
I think maybe you're right.
But no turnovers in the Jags game.
Yes.
On the road.
Got 4 turnovers against the Jaguars on the road.
Turnovers against. Yeah, so the Niners, I mean, it is impressive when you turn the ball over in the red zone and you still dominate a team the way they did. Mm-hmm. On prime time, so many factors. Most complete game. I mean, statistically, we're just talking about this in the crosstalk. Yeah. What is your definition of the most complete game?
When all 3 levels play to their standards. And I think all 3 levels did play. Besides, I think this team wasn't as good as Kyle said it was. I think it was okay. I think there were still some missed tackles, some mistakes. But I do think the offense, the defense, the way they were clicking and just both sides of it clicking, I think was one of their most impressive outings for sure.
How much, a little peek behind the curtain here, how much differently do you absorb a game you're watching in person in the media box versus on TV? This is going to be a little controversial. I actually kind of like watching on TV a little bit more. No, it's not controversial, I don't think. I think a lot of people feel that way. And when you're media at a game, mm-hmm. it's different because you have to be in a different mindset, a different mentality.
Yes.
You can't, when you're going to a game, a lot of people obviously tailgates are a good example of this, take it as a party. It's a party to hang out and go with people.
Yes.
I personally don't like that. I like to be locked in and watch. Mm-hmm. I try to go to one game a year. If I don't, it gets expensive when your team's good, which is
we're going to get you to more than one game. We're working on it.
That's what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's why I picked to go to the Cardinals game.
There you go.
Yeah. So I'm just curious, how do you absorb a game differently between the two? How do you take stats? How do you notice? Because you're saying missed tackles. It's harder, I feel, to notice missed tackles on TV because your eyes are so relegated to where the ball's at all the time.
Yeah.
And that might just be a personal thing. I might, most people may not feel like that. But what's your difference?
So when you're in the media box, especially with the Niners and where it's situated, you see the whole field. So you can see the play develop and unwind as you're watching it. Whereas when you're watching on TV, you only see what they're showing you. And then there's also commercial breaks. So you only see what they're showing you, and you only have the time that's live on air to see the action.
Yeah.
Besides, when you're at the game, everything else is happening around you, the sideline, all this stuff. So you are more observant and paying attention to more stuff on the sideline because you're there. Whereas when you're watching on TV, you only see what they want to show you. So that's kind of the reality. And I prefer, when I have to take like game notes and I just got to like write stuff, to watch it on TV because I'm locked into my computer. I'm there's no one bothering me. There's no one around me. I'm just locked in. Whereas when I'm at the game, there's a lot of distractions. People next to you talking to you, trying to observe the game as well. You got to run to the restroom. You got to grab some food. There's a lot of things that are moving around. Whereas when it's just at home, you're just super locked in, like you said.
Okay, interesting. So that's kind of, I've been a fan my whole life, and I've definitely absorbed it differently. It's so much more emotion and just how you deal with it. So I'm just curious kind of see how you do it as a professional.
I'm not taking it away from. I love going to games. I love being there and talking to me and everything like that. But there's just so much more to do. Yeah. There's so much more you're paying attention to and trying to get done at that time. So you're more stressed out trying to get stuff done.
Yeah, you're writing, you're getting your tweets out,
getting
all
video.
Stuff. Yeah,
I mean, I'm there 3 hours prior every single game.
Yeah.
You know, when there's Sunday night games, especially night games, I leave my house at 9 in the morning. I don't get home till 1 a.m.
You could use a digital guy out there.
I really could.
You really could.
I really could.
But yeah.
No, another day, another dollar.
Yeah.
Anyway, Niners, the story is 34-3. That's the point. It's 34-3. The Niners come back, have a huge win. Now they set it up to go to Tampa, come back home, and go 2-0 after the bye, which is huge. And we're going to talk about some players after the break here, and who stands out and who could be getting a contract after this season, because there's a couple guys coming up for the Niners. I know they have all this cap room right now, but they're going to roll it over. Who are they going to spend it on? Who's an option? All that stuff coming up next on the Return of the Empire on Sacktown Sports.
All righty.
How long is this break?
3.5 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to go get our cookies. I think you should switch mics.
Why is that?
Because it's like the whole time. It's like
no, that was just me hitting it.
Okay, it's not falling.
No, that was me hitting it.
Oh, just touching.
I
know that mic's all messed up.
I get real handsy.
Oh, okay.
Look at you.
That mic was falling. Yeah.
Fall into pieces.
Free falling.
Oh no, we're doing different songs there. Okay.
Chat. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I want to ask you a question. We were talking about stuff off air. What do you think about Ken Dorsey getting fired?
About damn time.
Really? Okay.
Probably. I mean, McDermott's next.
Okay, so that was the thing I was curious about, because I know me and
Stephon Diggs after that.
Me and you have football conversations. I didn't get a chance to ask you about that, so I'm just curious what's going to end up happening with them, because they're not going to be able to. I don't think they're going to be able to find better than McDermott, right? They've been hiring a new coach.
They always are going to find someone.
But
like, what if Dayball gets fired?
I don't think that's going to be a thing, right?
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, okay, if Dayball were available, that would be like, okay, a match that makes sense. I don't know how that would work with like him using to be the coordinator and then he's the coach now, but
I don't know, Riverboat Ron, I don't know. Like, I'm throwing out names here. It's early in the process. We haven't gone through Black Friday yet.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just trying to think of who the name is that would
Black
be
Monday,
better.
they call it, actually.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of, well, we haven't gotten to Black Friday either. Who knows how many more coaches? Future, I've been just joking about this. Future Buffalo Bills coach Brandon Staley. No.
Oh gosh,
I just
that gives me a headache just thinking about.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to end up happening there. I wanted your thoughts. So, you know, you're a
in the YouTube chat. We want your thoughts as well. Talking about oatmeal raisin cookies. I'm not a raisin person. I like oatmeal. I don't like raisins, so that kind of cancels me out of the oatmeal raisin conversation.
So if Nate and Kayla walk in with some oatmeal crumble cookies right now, how would you?
I'll eat an oatmeal crumble cookie.
Okay.
Oh, and speaking of the devil, Nate and Kayla. Hi, Kayla. Is walking in. With some cookies here, which we appreciate here on Sacktown Sports.
What a win! What a champion right there.
What a time, man.
Does Kayla want headphones?
Does Kayla want headphones? No, she doesn't want headphones.
Well, you have to hear us.
I mean, she can hear you when you're talking. What?
How much time in the break?
1 minute.
Okay, hold on.
How is he hearing anyways?
I don't know. He just knows, man.
Yeah.
Nate's see all be all. Just looking at the YouTube chat. Guys, what do you think was the biggest standout from the Niners win this weekend? Do you think it was the offense, the defense, all three levels? What do you think it was? Put it in the chat, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Trent Williams, kind of important, huh?
Who would have thought, right? You know, one of the greatest left tackles of all time.
Yeah, the MVP of the team, as you correctly prognosticated at the start of the season.
Yeah, I think I know who I told that to. But
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was so funny to me.
Who's the best player on the Niners? Trent Williams. No, like on the defense.
Trent Williams.
Yeah, Fred Warner.
Fred Warner.
Anyways, 10 seconds till we're back.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Return of the Empire podcast
with Emil Fergoso and Nate Littlefield.
Showing pressure all over the front here.
Trevor Lawrence trying to get it blocked up, and he's going to go down right away. Nick Bosa came in untouched. Chase Young was there.
The Gravedigger got there as well.
Bringing that sharp shovel today, baby. Burying quarterbacks. And that was just everybody winning up front. Bosa started the party. Trevor Lawrence thought he was going to step up, had absolutely nowhere to go.
Yeah, the Gravedigger, as they call him, and he was digging some graves for Trevor Lawrence, man. I think that was Gravedigger, Javon Hargrave's best game of the season for the Niners.
And Cleveland Farrell's.
You know, bad knee be damned, Javon. I mean, yeah, he played his ass off. I can't believe it.
I think we might have a clip about that, Nate.
I think Chase Young gets his first sack as a Niner.
Okay.
I think Nick Bosa gets a sack as a Niner.
And
Just saying.
Farrell for my sticky note.
Play action, Trevor Lawrence to ETN, moves around the Gravedigger. He's going to go down, though. Cleveland Farrell.
You called it.
I called it. I got it. Is that 1.5 on the season?
It is 1.5 on the season.
You said last week
we're
he'd get
almost there. We're almost there. I need 6.
And Fred Warner also has 3 interceptions now, which my sticky note, you can check
Sticky
that off
note is
right
done.
there.
Yeah, that one's
Yeah,
good.
that one's Fred Warner, man. Had a little jokes about that afterwards too. He said, "Man, Trevor threw a nice tight spiral
Right to him.
And Fred goes, "I probably shouldn't have said that."
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Making jokes. Even Kyle had some jokes.
Yeah.
When they ran on the field after Ambry Thomas had that strip fumble.
Man, yeah, there were some in the Littlefield household. There were some infuriated people there.
Greg Papa was very confused at what was happening.
I was confused because I didn't. Again, watching on TV, you didn't see all what happened.
The initial call on the field was just unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah.
Or no, it was personal foul, wasn't it?
Unsportsmanlike conduct, I think.
Yeah, and then
no one
they
didn't say anything.
Yeah.
That's all he said.
I forgot he would have housed that too. That was easy.
He housed it,
Yeah.
man. Ambry and then Steve Wilkes hyping him up afterwards. That's why you need your defensive coordinator on the field with you. Like you just need him for the vibes.
Okay, so let's.
Energies.
I know we're doing this roundtable thing, but let's talk about this Steve Wilkes.
No, it's just free flowing. Let's do this.
We're free flowing.
Free flowing.
We got cookies in here. It's crazy.
I'm gonna go grab a cookie.
Okay, come in. So Steve Wilkes on the sideline.
Yes.
Does it matter?
Yes.
Why?
Man, you just need your energy. You need your defense. You need your coach down there with you. You need people to hype you up. This Niners team feeds off of energy and emotions. That's how they get sacks and get turnovers. They have to be with you. It's an all or nothing team. And when your coaches are divided and they're up in the booth, again, you can have your coordinators and your assistants up there. That's fine. But when your head honcho, your defensive coordinator calling the plays is away from you, the communication can get lapped because you're listening to a headset and a guy 100 yards away. Whereas when he's on the field, you get direct contact with him. You can look over with him. You can see his eyes.
There's
you
a
can
guy
see an eye. You get it. You know.
You see it in his eyes. There was a middleman between them, correct?
Yeah, Kasaric.
Yeah. So you're not even getting it from Will.
And Kasaric isn't calling the plays.
Yeah. So that runs a lot of issue. Very curious to see how the defense is the rest of the year, and if they're just lights out. I'm just going to give all the credit to him going to the sideline, right?
No, there are so many plays, though, that stood out. The Ambry Thomas one that we just said. I mean, after Ambry had that turnover, he was in his face like, man, that's you. That's you.
Yeah.
Jarius Ward got that PBU on Christian Kirk in the end zone.
Yeah.
That's
he was
you.
right in his
That's
face.
You.
You're right.
You need that for the Niners team. You need it. That's what D'Amico had. That's what Robert had. You need that emotion. That's how they thrive. That's how they build together as a team, the chemistry.
I love your emotion right now. This might be the most passionate I've seen you get on the show.
I know.
I'm impressed.
I'm really Italian. I'm talking with my hands.
It wouldn't be a 49ers game though if Travarius Ward didn't get a penalty on him.
Yeah, man.
He loves to get flagged.
And they're so ticky-tack flags,
they're pretty weak.
Call it both ways, ref. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think the refs maybe have an eye on him or something?
They definitely do. They know he's one of the better tackling cornerbacks in the NFL. He's a very physical cornerback. That's kind of his hallmark. It's not, I wouldn't say it's pass covered. He's good at that. I would say he's a very excellent tackling cornerback that knows how to state it was man. So they're looking for that, and they're always going to lean to the side of the offensive player on PI and stuff, unless you're Brandon Ayuk, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, no, that was offensive PI.
No, it wasn't. Sure. No.
You don't think so? No. He was past the 5 and he fully extended.
But he extended first. Darius Williams extended first.
I really thought that was on Brandon Ayuk.
When both of them are doing it, you got to leave it alone, in my opinion. When they're both doing the hand touch fight thing, you got to leave it alone.
I think his arm was a few inches too far out. The full extension was there. You could see it. I thought it was a clear cut. And then in live action too, it's bang, bang. I don't blame the ref for that one.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I didn't like it.
I
didn't like it.
You're more biased than me.
I am a little bit. It's okay.
Nice.
BA is my guy. He just is.
Yeah.
BA is my guy. Shout out ASU.
They've won by 31. Be a little bit more positive. I mean, come on.
I know, right? I know, right? Be a little more positive. I don't know. There's a clip of me yesterday when I was talking with Watkins and Styles. I sound like SpongeBob. I don't know if Kyle's finding it. I think he is. But while we do that,
do you want?
Yeah.
You want to talk about Brock Purdy's best throws, or you want to talk about this new deal situation?
You know what?
What do you think?
You're the 49ers fan.
I am.
You get to call it, man. It's your week. It's your life.
It is my week, huh? All right, let's talk about who's going to get the deals after the season.
I don't like that. There you go.
Oh, you do sound like SpongeBob.
I don't like that.
Whoa, that's weird.
Yeah, I know, right?
Can I get that one more time?
I don't like that.
Interesting.
I'm telling you, I have character voices. I really do. I don't like that.
So the candidates whose contracts are up at the end of the season: Chase Young, Ayuk, Eric Armstead, right?
He has one more year, Eric Armstead, but yes.
Okay.
And so is Ayuk. They're going to 5, but they're on extension eligible stuff.
So the thing about this team is that they have not re-signed the middle of the tier guys. They've let him go. I think some exceptions are like Dre Greenlaw at the time. I think he's a high tier. It's hard when everyone's so good.
But they re-signed him with a 2-year deal in the middle of the season on a really cheap number.
So that's great. Like they didn't re-sign Al-Shire.
Nope.
They didn't re-sign DeForest Buckner. They
traded Buckner. And that was clearly a mistake.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That was clearly a mistake made point by the Hargrave signing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they traded a first-round pick, and that pick became Javon Kinlaw.
Yeah, and that didn't work.
Nope.
That was supposed to. So this team does not re-sign that middle tier, like good play.
They signed the elite. They
sign the elite, and they pay the elite a lot. So by that metric, really, it's one guy's definitely not getting paid on these.
Do you want to say it in 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Eric Armstead.
Yeah. And it hurts. It hurts.
Man.
I love him.
It hurts.
Dude. He's the Elk Grove guy, but depends how much he's asking for. If he wants to take that quote unquote hometown discount,
he's not gonna get a 5 for 85. I'm just telling. Not from the Niners, at least.
No, not from the Niners. I think he will get that somewhere else.
He's gonna be 32 though when this contract's up.
Yeah, maybe not a 5, but you want that
like a 3 for 50.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
from like, I don't know, maybe. I was about to say the Colts, which really like up,
yeah,
it's got to be a team that's on their upwards trajectory. And I'm thinking of these like younger, honestly, Houston too, with the D'Amico ties.
Yeah.
So,
Jimmy Ward's playing, I think, pretty well actually over there for D'Amico. And shout out to the Houston Texans, by the way.
We're always talking about Ran Carthon too.
Ran Carthon.
In Carthon and in Tennessee,
Yeah.
He knows the guys here in San Francisco. So
Aziz is over there.
That could be a target for sure from them.
Yeah. The Atlanta Falcons for $60 million.
Did they just spend that on Jesse Bates?
Probably.
I don't know.
Didn't make their defense better.
They still got to pay Arthur Smith after the season. I don't trust it. So,
do you think the 49ers re-sign Chase Young after one game? I know this is a loaded question.
I got to see more.
I got to take my sweatshirt off. Hold on.
It's hot in here. Yeah. Anyway, look, Chase Young, awesome player. And I said last week, what was it, 75-25, that they would not re-sign him?
Yeah, I think I asked you directly about that.
You did. And I still kind of feel that way because they have to pay him a good amount of money. And especially if he keeps playing like this next to Bosa, they got to pay him a good amount of money. And I don't know if they're going to be able to afford it because they're already paying. The Hargrave deal makes it so complex because of how much money he's owed, not this season, but next season and the year after.
Yeah.
It's all backloaded. And they can do those cap restructures and Jed York can dish out the cash right away. But how many seasons did Jed York want to do that? Especially if they're not winning the championship every single season.
Yeah, I mean, the Super Bowl is the X factor every year for this team.
No kidding.
It's like what can you do for me if we win the Super? It's one of the only recent teams to keep I think maybe the only team ever to keep all their starters from the previous year was that Bucs team, Super Bowl winning team.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that's really difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've been amazed with the cap space maneuvering that they've done. I mean, they have almost 40 million. I haven't checked the cap space since
it's still
Randy Gregory.
It's at like
it's 39.8.
Yeah, it's around there.
So it's the biggest hit is Trent Williams.
What do you mean biggest hit? Oh, like because it's backloaded. Yes.
Yeah.
I do think that gets restructured though.
Uh-huh.
And they pay him them up front because I think Trent has after this season probably 2 more seasons before he retires. Either 1 or 2 more. That's it.
You think if they win the Super Bowl he retires?
Yes. If they win the Super Bowl, he retires. Yes.
This year.
Yes.
It depends on that paycheck, because I know like people said the same thing about Aaron Donald, and Aaron Donald basically is just playing for the paycheck at this point. So
yeah,
but he's evil. He's like an evil person.
Careful now.
On the field.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I've seen him throw a helmet or two. So
swinging helmet.
So did Myles Garrett, but let's not get into that.
Yeah. Aaron Donald's practice routine is to choke his teammates.
But if they move off of Armstead, like we're theoretically talking about, doesn't that theoretically create more cap space too?
It does, but I think they're backloaded is the issue, especially with Bosa's contract. They're very backloaded on that.
Armstead's the second biggest hit at 11.9 million.
Yeah.
So that
here's the good news though, and I had to do some more research on the Hargrave deal, which is a 4-year, $84 million deal. This season his cap hit was 6.6. Next season it's 15.5. But after that, they have a potential out where they can save, I think, like $40 million, and they only have an $18 million dead cap hit going into 2025. So they would save money if they get rid of Javon Hargrave after the next season. If they don't keep him and they let him go. So there is an out in his deal to not get the backload money. And if that's what they're thinking, then it's possible to re-sign Brandon Ayuk long-term. It's possible to sign other people long-term.
So it's like, what on earth would cause them to get rid of Javon Hargrave though?
Like if he's, 32 and slowing down, I don't know.
Yeah. He seems to have I don't even want to say second wind. He never lost his first win. He seems man, dude, it's just that D line is brutal.
They're just nasty.
They're just so good.
When you get to bring Randy Gregory off the bench, like that's just a plethora of riches.
Every player has been an impact guy. Last week, every player was an impact guy, and
even Kinlaw.
You have to assume that's because the constant threat of Chase Young and Nick Bosa.
And when they met at the quarterback,
and they got a strip sack.
They said they were going to do it, and then they did it. That's the funny part. And even Chris Kaserik was like, "Man, you guys said you were going to do it, and you did it."
Yeah, it's
when you have your coaches surprised. That's when you know you're really damn good at football.
The B team on that defense is what? Cleveland Ferrell, Randy Gregory, and Chase Young potentially.
Chase Young's a starter.
Drake Jackson, but he's out.
He's out.
Yeah.
Kevin Givens, who is very solid.
Yeah, it's a good B team to say the least.
Yeah, I would have thought. Yeah.
To answer your question on Armstead earlier, so if they release him, just want to pay the dead cap $26 million, then it's $2 million in savings. If they cut him, if they split it over 2 years, they would save $18 million going into next year, which would theoretically be paid directly to Chase Young.
Correct. Yeah, and just how much do you think Chase Young would get? Like a deal, do you think it's going to be massive? Like, is Chase done enough?
It depends how this year goes.
I agree.
It's too early to make a call like that.
I agree.
So I knew I was asking you a loaded question when we started this conversation, but I think we saved the most interesting candidate for last, and that is Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, and Rockin actually brought it up too. Rockin' New Era, shout out him on the YouTube chat. If you keep Chase Young, it means you have to get rid of Armstead, Debo, or Kittle. Would you? And I think Brandon Ayuk is someone to really consider with this one instead of those three. Is like, do you get rid of Brandon Ayuk? And I think the last 3 weeks have shown that who is more valuable in the receiving core. I think it's Debo Samuel.
Yeah, I mean it's really hard to argue
and
that,
but
Ayuk is constantly doing so much for this team.
He is
he saved Brock's behind on that first drive. That throw Brock had in the end zone to Ayuk, which Kyle Shanahan talked about it after the game. He was like, that was a bad throw. That was a bad decision.
And Brock agreed.
And Brock stepped into this throw and played 3 flags up in the end zone, which you should not do.
Never played 3 flags up.
Love to see, but Ayuk snagged it, and it was a touchdown.
Kittle was there too.
Kittle was in the area.
He was in the area too. Look, Brock is. I love Brock because Brock is so like arrogant but so humble at the same time. Because Brock was like, "Yeah, I agree," with like a little smirk, like, "I know it was a bad idea. I still did anyway."
Yeah.
Like
a kid that gets away with being bad from his parents.
He's like, I know, I'm too cool. Yeah. As he walks in with his Tommy Bahama fit, ready to drop 30 on the
It's such a weird response. He was like, I'm not proud of that decision. I was like, that's a weird response to throwing a touchdown.
And Kyle was like, it was a bad call, but I thanked him for the touchdown. That's what you should do.
This dude pulling up in his 2006 Toyota Sequoia, being in these Toyota commercials. How did they not get him a truck for free?
They definitely
doesn't make sense. For free. Really?
They definitely
because I remember hearing him talk about it.
No, I know, but there's definitely some. Look, Brock's getting paid a certain amount of money per year by the Niners, but the endorsement fees, I bet, are pretty good right now.
Yeah, He better get.
It is
freaking
just a
Toyota.
local commercial, but also
It's still Toyota.
Yeah, that's
it's
what I
still
was
a
gonna
big
say.
Nate company, national company, worldwide company.
Maybe he just really likes the car.
I think he does.
All right. I would too, but
Yeah.
but Ayuk. How do the Niners keep him? Do they keep him?
Someone's got to go.
You'd rather Armstead go than Ayuk, or Ayuk go than Armstead?
I think I'd rather keep Brandon Ayuk than Eric Armstead
I think
because
so,
of
too.
age. Because of age. Look, Eric Armstead, when his deal is done, is going to be 32 years old. And while defensive linemen have shown a history of being able to play into their 35, Eric has a bunch of injuries as well. And I love Eric, but I think Eric's production and price is a little bit disproportionate. I think he still is a very great player. He does all the dirty work for the Niners, but I don't think he has the stat stuffers that you want to see when you're paying these guys elite money. And I think Eric is going to want to be more financially stable going into the latter half of his career to help his family out. And if that means leaving the Niners, then so be it. It's going to suck, obviously, for everyone involved because Eric is a Niner for life. He's from Sacramento. But you got to do what you have to do. It's a business first. And that's what I think Eric is thinking right now as well.
I never thought about this until I was watching the game this weekend. These are obviously I love Ayuk because I watch him every week all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Follow the Niners incredibly closely, diehard fan. But I also a guy I really like is Calvin Ridley, who I've liked since he came into the league into Atlanta. He's coming off his suspended year last year.
Yeah.
Who would you rather have if you could straight trade right now?
Oh boy,
Ridley for Ayuk, would you?
Ayuk. It's not even a question. Ayuk.
Okay.
Or at least not enough this season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't know if it's a Jacksonville thing, but when Christian Kirk is out playing, and I think Christian Kirk's a great player, I'm not going to discount him, but he got overpaid on his deal, and no one can disagree on that.
No. And Trent Baalke, that was his way, I feel like, of trying to screw over the Niners
With Debo.
with the Debo situation.
Who
That guy's
knows?
the worst.
Yeah, he really is.
That guy's the worst.
Anyway, I think Calvin Ridley is a fine player. I don't think he is what he was, and people forget Calvin Ridley is a lot older than people think. He's 29 right now.
Yeah. He took a year. He took a break.
Ayuk is 24, 25.
Yeah.
He's got 3 more prime years in him. Probably till he's 30 because of how he plays too.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not like a speed guy. He's a cut movement guy, you know? And I think Ayuk is a very, very talented player. I would not want to get rid of Ayuk. I would keep Ayuk, and they have talked about this, John especially. We see Ayuk as one of our pillar stone guys. We want to keep him. I think they're going to try to do everything in their power to keep him.
There's too many pillars, though.
There's too many pillars.
There's too many important.
But can you have
people.
too many pillars for a foundation?
I don't know. Is Hufanga one?
That's a question. And then they got Brock later on too. You got to think about Brock later on. How much
And
you got to pay him
Dre,
too?
just all the. I know they extended Dre, but
I don't know if
he's
Dre
got
stays
one.
after his
I
contract.
know it's
because they got to prepay Fred.
Yeah.
It's a look. Question down the line. Anyway, we got to get to a break. When we come back, we're going to stick to the present. And right now, we got to preview Week 11 against Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming to Levi Stadium. Could it be another clash of OSU versus Oklahoma? I think it will be. But that's next after the break. Sacktown Sports, Turn of the Empire.
Alrighty. Hi, YouTube.
Oh, that was
Can you
cute.
get some paper towels for these cookies? Thanks.
You didn't say please.
Please.
You didn't say please? No.
Oh, my bad.
Come on now.
That's
Come
my
on.
bad. Thanks for keeping me in check, guys.
Yeah. Make fun of Nate in the chat.
Yeah, you can do that. I do want to get some of these questions in here were awesome.
They were.
That I just couldn't get to. AJ in the chat said that just Ayuk is off the table. It's
I understand.
And then Rockin says Ayuk's just a pure wide receiver, and that is so true. It's
Yes.
so true. He's just a classic. I mean, he's an elite route runner. He's so good. So yeah, I could see moving on from Armstead. It hurts. AJ also says, wish you kept Buckner instead of Armstead. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of Niner fans probably feel that way. And that's sad because Eric is a pillar of the community here in Sacramento and the Bay Area. He's an awesome person. I love Eric Armstead as a person, even as a player. But it's a business at the end of the day, and they all know that. And
Yeah,
so
that deal is
where's that?
only bad in a world where DeForest Buckner is the best defensive tackle in the NFL, which he arguably might be.
He's one of 100%. Yeah, DeForest Buckner. It just goes back to the D Ford deal. It really does. It just goes back to the D Ford deal.
It's still biting him in the butt.
And
just
that's the problem.
Think about that. Like D Ford was the big money edge rusher that they got. Now they have like 6 edge rushers who are arguably as productive as D Ford was.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny to think about. Some of them they got for free.
Someone actually compared. I'm looking up in the chat. I think it was Rockin. Yeah, it was Rockin. He said here, only thing about Chase Young is his injury history. It gives him D Ford vibes.
Yes.
To a degree.
Not D Ford, because D Ford was never as good as Chase Young.
No.
No.
Chase Young won Defensive Rookie of the Year.
He did.
Chase Young is excellent. Also, Chase Young represented by Clutch Sports, so all of this is a ploy to get him to play for the Lakers.
Yeah, like AJ said in the chat, nothing personal on Armstead, but Buckner is the real deal. He really is. DeForest Buckner is the real deal.
Yeah.
They chose the overall fit and overall other non-football stuff with Armstead versus Buckner. They chose to get rid of Buckner. It's all right. It's okay. They made a mistake. Accidents happen. Mistakes happen. They made it up for it with Hargrave.
The Niners have a few of those.
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do.
Look at every first-round pick since 2017.
Besides Brandon Ayuk.
And Nick Bosa. But, they fell ass backwards into Nick Bosa.
Yeah, that couldn't have gone better for them because have you heard the Nick Bosa Cardinal story?
I think so, but we've only got 10 seconds.
Okay.
So we got to save it.
Yeah, okay.
Tell that one in the post show.
I will.
House with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Welcome back to the Return of the Empire podcast.
With Emil Fergoso and Nate Littlefield.
2nd down 1. A play caller delight here. Kittle goes in motion right. Outside of McKivitz. Ayuk is on that side. Purdy under center. A 5-step drop. Now going to pump and throw down the sideline. Kittle! He's got it and he's gone! Touchdown! San Francisco!
Yeah, George Kittle was partying, dancing, doing his thing all the way from the 20-yard line because he had Devin Lloyd lost and on the ground. And did you see Kyle Shanahan do the cool guy walk off? Didn't even look at the touchdown.
He didn't even look. He turned around and just goes, bam! And
That is a Bill Walsh, George Seifert kind of level play right there of just knowing where you're at. Alley-oop and dunk it like Kyle's doing in the back. Again, Return to the Empire.
I was doing the Jordan Poole shot and turn around even though it's not going to go in.
Yikes.
I was thinking of Nick Young. No.
Oh, yeah.
Swaggy B. What a
but
time that was.
I've never seen Kyle Shanahan do that with any other quarterbacks the Niners have had, so I'm pretty
Because
happy.
Brock Purdy is a real freaking deal.
Yeah.
Let's stop talking about it.
It would have been funny if he did that with Brian Hoyer.
You know what's funny? I was on the conference call when one of the Niners media, who remain nameless, asked him, is it time to change quarterbacks? And Kyle was like dumbfounded.
Oh, I wonder who that was.
Kyle was dumbfounded and said no. And he goes, why? And he goes, because you don't change our quarterback for no reason. And lo and behold, you don't change a quarterback for no reason when Brock Purdy's a damn quarterback.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
It would have taken. It's his team. You don't just. Yeah. He's here to stay. I love him. I'm so happy that he's a point. I'm so happy things worked out. I'm so happy things work out.
Anyway, the Niners are back at Levi Stadium this week, which means I got to go to the game. Oh, boo-hoo. I'm just kidding. I'll go into the games. Anyway, Niners are back. They're playing the Buccaneers at home, which, again, is a game that Brock Purdy knows very well, a team he knows very, very well, because his first start in the NFL came against the Buccaneers last year.
Very true.
And he lit up Tom Brady and the Buccaneers last year.
I believe he went up 28-0.
Yeah, it was a pass the sticks time, as they say, the youths say. Anyway.
Dude, I've never heard of
you never heard pass the sticks?
Like the controller?
Yeah, pass the sticks. If you go 21-0, pass the sticks.
Okay.
All right. I'm unfamiliar with this one.
No, this is the thing.
I know we're the youths, but I don't know this one.
No, it's a 21. If you go up 21-0 on someone in Madden, you pass the sticks.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you're getting beaten.
In fairness, I haven't played Madden since like Madden 17, so
that's fair.
Okay, so Niners Bucks in Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California.
That's a place.
Do you know what the spread is?
I do.
Let's just say the spread for Caesars. It's pretty different between all these.
I'm pretty sure is it 10.5?
Depending who you take. Yeah, FanDuel has it at 10.5. Caesars 11.5.
I would have thought like 8.5.
No, they don't want you teasing it. They don't want you teasing it at all.
This is a dramatic shift in the 49ers' favor. So we also have, you sent me a text yesterday about Baker's thumb too. He's having some issues there. What do we know about that? Is he fine? Is it his throwing arm?
It is his throwing thumb, I believe. I'm doing some research to make sure, but I'm pretty positive it is. Even without the thumb, it's Nick Bosa versus Baker Mayfield. And as we all know, Nick Bosa is not like Baker Mayfield. As he said in the rookie season, he said, Baker, come bring me a challenge, Baker. Nope, didn't happen. Nick Bosa wants to demolish that guy because of old college rivalries. If you don't know, now you know. Oklahoma, when Baker Mayfield was playing for them, planted the flag on OSU, and Nick Bosa didn't like that very much and kind of holds a little grudge there. So now we got a grudge match with Nick Bosa against Baker Mayfield.
And Chase Young, too.
Chase Young, too.
Chase Young's happy to get in on this as well. Baker, I think Baker gets too much hate.
I agree.
Gets a lot of criticism. I think he's a very talented guy. He's a really on the fly kind of player. And I think that type of play led to, for example, his win against the Raiders last year, where he just signed with the Rams, and then 4 or 5 days later shows up, game-winning drive.
Yeah, man.
I think he's a good player. I kind of was hoping the Niners would have snagged him last year at the time.
Wow.
No, I'm serious. When Garoppolo went down,
yeah,
I was like, "What? We have Mr. Irrelevant coming?" And then that worked out great. So
look at the world now. Now we live in a world where the Niners have a quarterback, and I've heard people say Baker Mayfield is the deciding factor in the NFC South race.
He kind of is, because NFC South is a joke as it is. I call the NFC South and AFC South the swamp. It literally is the swamp.
Pyramid schemes,
yes. Anyway, Baker Mayfield.
The Bucs, I think, have a legitimate defense.
They do, and they lost a lot of close games this year.
Yeah. Again, not a wild schedule, but they've beaten a couple good teams as well.
They just beat the Titans. I'm pulling it up right now. Don't worry.
Will Levis, yeah,
they barely lost to the Texans. If not for CJ Stroud being CJ Stroud, they would have won that game.
Exactly.
They barely lost to the Falcons, which again divisional. That's always weird. They lost to the Buffalo Bills, and that was even close.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to the Lions, which who hasn't?
Yeah.
The
Ravens.
That's some of their wins besides the Ravens, obviously.
Yeah.
That's some of their losses. They lost to the Eagles as well. Okay. And then you look at their wins. They haven't beaten anyone serious. They just haven't. Maybe the Vikings week 1. Besides that, they've beaten the Bears, the Saints, and the Titans. All those teams aren't very good. It's one of those good against the bad teams, but bad against the good teams. And that's kind of where the Bucs are right now.
Just coasting on good vibes. Except their fan base hates their coach, but other than that, coasting on good vibes.
Like Todd Bowles.
Based on that, I don't think Todd Bowles is a great coach. I don't think it worked out.
He's not.
Yeah, but anyway, a great head coach. Based on what you just pitched to me, this 10.5, 11 point spread is very accurate then.
It is.
So you believe the Niners put the smackdown on Tampa Bay, who has to travel for the second year in a row to California to play the 49ers, to Santa Clara specifically.
I don't know if they like the smackdown. I think it's going to be closer than people think. Like, they're going to hang in there for a little bit. But just like the Jaguars game, the Niners are going to pull away because they have more talent than them. And that's the reality, is that the Niners, when they are healthy, have more talent than anybody else in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's the reality. That's not a fact.
I don't like that.
Thank you.
I like it.
I like it.
I like
that a lot.
I like that a lot, SpongeBob.
The Niners are amazing talent-wise, but when they get hurt because they're so top-heavy, that's when things falter and they have a lot of complex schemes and whatnot. But when they are fully healthy, and we'll see what happens this week with Colton McKivitz maybe not playing. We'll get to that in a second. Playing Baker Mayfield and having the emotional game that it is. This Niners team feeds off of emotions. And playing a guy you don't like at quarterback, that's going to fuel you even more. And I think the Niners defense is going to get after him again because the Bucs offensive line is not good.
No.
At all. Tristan Wirfs, their all-pro right tackle, moved to left tackle for some reason, not playing as well. They lost their all-star killer center, Ryan Jensen, at the beginning of the season. They don't have him. They're starting guys that you don't know at tackle and guard. You just don't know who they are.
So you mentioned O-line. We got to talk about the Niners O-line. I should have brought this up in our recap, but Feliciano steps in on the left guard, stepped in.
Yep. Man, he was good.
You said, yeah, he was good. I think he should stay there.
He's nasty, bro.
He's good. I'm high on Feliciano. Mm-hmm. Just veteran, everything about him I like. But so you mentioned Colton McKivitz potentially not playing. Yes. Aaron Banks, is he questionable? Or
no, he's not playing.
He's
out. He's out.
Okay, he's guaranteed.
He's got turf toe. He's out.
Turf toe. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks without him. When do you expect to see Aaron Banks back?
I think they might get him back at practice next week.
And you think he lost his job?
No, he didn't lose the job. No. If anything, Burfer is the one to be in question on the job.
Yeah.
Because I think, and Kyle said it yesterday in his conference call, he goes, Feliciano has earned all these reps at practice. That we want to make sure John understands that we like you and we want you to play. So they're going to start doing what they did with Daniel Brunskill last year, where they start rotating him in at guard and center and right guard. They're going to keep these guys fresh. And I think Feliciano is great. I think he had an 82.3 PFF grade yesterday. I mean, he was awesome yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, he's playing right next to Trent too, which helps. But
yesterday, yes.
Yeah.
But did you see that one block he had where he pancaked that dude?
I did not.
Oh,
I did not.
He went from the left side to the right side and pancaked the dude.
Okay.
Like Feliciano is like he just looks mean.
Yeah.
When you like look at him in person, like he looks like a mean dude. He's fully tatted, got the mustache. He looks like an offensive lineman.
Long hair. He's got that long curly hair.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Feliciano is a veteran. He is not some rookie undrafted guy. He is a veteran that goes in there. He played very well for the New York Giants last season.
And that's saying a lot. The Giants are bad.
They're not good. Andrew Thomas and Feliciano, that was kind of it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. 2-win Giants.
Oh my gosh, poor Giants.
Number 1 pick in the draft. I think they have the number 2 pick, but still.
So I do think Feliciano, at least for now, is going to fill in at left guard, and they're going to hope Burford can come along and have better games. And I think at right tackle is a real question: is do you start Matt Pryor, who is their kind of designated right tackle? Not everyone knows a lot about him.
Play time already this season.
He has,
Yeah,
a little bit, kind of in kill time.
Yeah,
but yeah, he played for the Colts, was not that great, but he played for the Colts. And then you have Jalen Moore, who's their left tackle, their backup left tackle that filled in for Trent Williams and played, I think, pretty well.
I did too
when Trent Williams was out.
I did.
Obviously, it's hard to fill his shoes, but pretty well for a guy who really couldn't stay on the field a lot during the preseason.
I mean, they couldn't run the ball, but do you blame that on Jalen Moore? Not all.
No,
of it. I think he's part of the blame pie. But
yeah.
How much? Debatable. But yeah, this offensive line is going to be hopefully the biggest story. Hopefully nothing bigger is what I'm trying to say. For the for the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
Because of health and everything, and now Feliciano's playing so good, he might have earned a permanent spot. We don't really know.
He should.
Yeah,
he really should. John Feliciano has played very well. I think he's a veteran that they kind of need on that line, a trusted guy to have next to Brendel, who is also a veteran, a journeyman himself, and then Burford on the other side with if it's Pryor or if it's Moore. Who knows? I think having more veteran guys. I think Aaron Banks should stay at left guard, but maybe it's Feliciano moving to center. Maybe it's Feliciano moving to right guard.
I don't know if they should move him to center. I know that was a pitch by Kruger a few weeks ago. I think it's working with Brendel. I think it's fine.
He's had a lot of pressures this year, Brendel. I'm just saying.
I know. Just center is such a weird spot to throw a wrench into, but
it is. I like to see him at right guard.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough for me to analyze that as a fan, as someone who's never doesn't know the nitty gritty of the O-line, how the intricacies, the chemistry. It's not really fair for me to sit here and say he should be in this spot and why. I don't think my analysis is there for that. It's just from what I've seen on the field, what I've seen statistically, PFF kind of the surface level stats. So I don't know if a change of center needs to happen, but we are kind of running out of time here. I want to talk about with the Buccaneers, their biggest threat, and I truly believe it's their receivers.
Really?
What do you think it is?
I was gonna say it was their defense.
Okay,
but maybe you're right. It's the receivers. I think you are right.
Just because of the Niners secondary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is in what year now? Like 10, and he's still
a freak.
Still a freak.
He's had 1,000 yards in every NFL season he's played, which I think is a record.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Evans is a freak. And then there's Chris Godwin, who doesn't get enough love because he hasn't had the same season he's had in other years, but very talented
and he
guy.
plays behind Mike Evans.
Yeah. Man, Mike Evans. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out who's going to guard Mike Evans. It's going to be Mooney Ward. It's going to be a tough day for Mooney Ward.
Well, what's new? Dude,
jeez.
I know, dude. He's due for a penalty every single game.
That was rude.
I'm not saying it's his fault. It's just he's gonna get a flag every single game, no matter what.
Yeah,
he's going to. And sometimes it's ticky-tack, sometimes it's warranted. But he had that great pass breakup in the end zone.
Yeah.
So he just hasn't been playing at the level he should be playing at.
And Mike Evans, 9 games played this season, 43 catches, 737 yards, 6 touchdowns, on track again for 1,000 yards receiving in a season. I mean, the pillar of consistency, like there's Keenan Allen and there's Mike Evans. Those two just pillars of consistency over the years of just product, wide receiver play. And that's what makes the Tampa Bay Buccaneers so dangerous, is because Mike Evans at any time of the day can break one downfield for 80-yard touchdown, just streaking downfield, because he's still at 30 years old, one of the better wide receivers in the NFL.
Well, Baker can sling it to him too. It's
Yes,
like
he can,
that's a
and
real
has.
threat. It's a real threat. Baker can move. I know he's not the most agile guy, especially post injury. Everything he's been beaten up, but he just he can get out. He's a real threat. He's a real threat, deep threat for the Niners, and that's a problem. That's a problem for Huff. It's a problem for Tayshaun Gibson. It'll be something to keep an eye on for sure, like it is every single week. Is how the quick mid-range passes do, and how taking the top off of the defense. I thought Christian Kirk was going to do that last week.
Yeah.
I thought, he stood a chance. It just didn't work. So
they shut down Evan Ingram really well last week, though.
Maybe it's because of the pass rush is just too good.
Or as Chris Collinsworth says, pass rush.
He does say that.
The pass rush.
Niners win this one.
What's your score?
Win this one.
What's your score?
The D-line's too good.
I gotta get home. It's gonna be a big day again for the Niners D-line. I just don't trust. I don't trust his Bucs offensive line. I just don't. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah. Man, I think the Niners are back to 30. And
Really?
I think they win 30-12.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers passing defense has been very bad. I'll get 28-20.
Yeah. I went big there.
20-20.
You know what? I have to make a prediction. That's legit my prediction. I'm not trying to like stomp on the Bucs or anything.
No.
I genuinely feel like
they're
that.
a competitive team. They're a talent. They have talent on their team. It's just, again, there's levels to this.
I think it'll be closer again than the score shows.
Yes.
But I think
They'll
that
pull
the
away at the
Niners
end
beat them
and-
up pretty bad.
Yeah, I could see it. They run the clock out. do
Pick
all that
six
stuff.
late or something.
Who
Yeah.
knows? Baker is always due for a turnover. It's going to happen. Anyway, that's Return of the Empire. Emil Fergoso, Nate Littlefield, Kyle Ledbetter on the ones and twos. We appreciate you all. You too. We appreciate you, everyone that tunes in every single week. Back again next week, hopefully with another Niners win. 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. here on Sacktown Sports. We will see you soon. Love you all. Peace.
All right.
YouTube. Shout out YouTube. They're popping 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, man.
We love it.
We love you guys. Jess, we
It
love you
makes
guys.
me so
Awesome.
happy that
Mega.
you guys are in here
Rocking.
doing that.
I mean, I'm going to shout out everybody. Nate
Yeah.
Littlefield, AJ.
Man, Nate Littlefield's in there. We got Megadeth.
Megadeth. Kayla. We're going to shout out everyone. Ernie.
Yeah, what's up,
Say
Kayla?
hi, say hi.
That's your camera too, Kayla, just right over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're in now, dude. Talk for a minute. Let YouTube get a little behind the scenes real quick.
Hold up.
And tell Emil and
All right,
and
now-
Kyle. Here, turn on your mic right here. You
Oh,
talk
boy.
into that for a second.
Don't leave yet, YouTube. This is great.
Okay. How? Just tell them how I am during the Niners game. Just give them a little rundown, just real quick. Talking to the mic.
Okay. So you set me up on the couch and make sure I'm comfy. Sometimes your dad makes food.
I'll say every time.
Yeah, actually every time he makes food. So then I lay down and sometimes I take a nap. Sometimes I watch.
Which is
but
impressive because it gets
they're
loud.
screaming the
Yeah.
entire time.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
He's like on his knees sometimes, or he'll be pacing. Yeah.
It's not like for a show either.
No.
It's just us in the room. It's us three.
Yeah.
Investing a lot of your emotional stability into these.
I
people.
love it. I love it
Yeah.
so much. And then Emil, I don't know if I'll bring it up.
His
Whatever.
mom doesn't watch anymore.
Why is that?
She sits in her room because
They're too loud?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just not.
It's
Because she goes, if I say anything, you guys just get mad at me. And I'm like,
Just like that?
oh yeah, you're right. Sorry.
I'm like, just be quiet like me.
Just, it'll be over in a couple hours.
But dang, what was I gonna say?
I have a question for Kayla, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Would you say, after all these years hanging out with him and being a part of his life, he's a true Niners faithful?
Yes, sir.
Through and through?
Yes, absolutely.
There we go.
That's a $1 million question right there.
She knows it's Sunday football season. She's so nice and wonderful. Lets me torture myself every week. It's awesome.
Yeah, but you actually have a good football team. Imagine
That's
if you
true.
were rooting for like the Chargers
Well,
or something.
Or like the Raiders.
Well,
or the Falcons.
Oh, gosh.
There's been some time.
I don't want to pretend. that. I do want to bring up. We go live on our Instagram after the show.
Me too.
And
No, let's not talk about that.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
No, I deleted it. It's not there anymore. Yes, it's not there anymore.
Deleted it?
I had to.
It's not that bad.
Yes, it is. I think the
You
cautious
should have
approach.
saved it for our personal
I
use.
couldn't. It wouldn't let me.
You could have let it up on the Sacktown Sports page for like 10 minutes, and then
I wasn't
grab
taking
the
any
screenshot.
I'm gonna say what happened.
I wasn't getting a call. Not happening.
Okay,
Do you
for
know
the
what happened?
audience.
I told you.
I think so.
Yeah.
For the 10 people in the audience.
Yes. Nate, you want to?
Oh, okay.
It's you. It's your dad.
My bad. So we go live after every 49ers game, and we just chat for 5-10 minutes. Just what do we like?
Yeah.
Am I happy? Am I sad? That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Just a wellness check on me.
It really is.
So I'm sitting there on the couch smiling, like laying back. I got our little baby cat Brock Purdy right there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, White. Shout out Whitey for that naming.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, just sitting here with my dad, Emil. We're pretty happy. And then Emil's like, let's say I had a Papa Littlefield over there. How's he feeling about the win? And I'm like, yeah, Dad, what do you think? And he just drops a nice little cuss word.
Yeah,
He just
man.
said-
Little bombs out there.
He said like,
I
frick you out.
He said freaking great.
Oh, yeah,
And it was his 2-liner, and I lost it.
Yeah, and I just
I
went, you can't
cuss.
Yeah. So
You're not allowed to cuss on
Yeah.
Instagram.
I'm just glad it wasn't me because I so many times I have to like be careful. I'd like be careful on air. I'm like, man, just don't because
there's like a switch when you go on here.
There
for some
is. There's
reason.
a real radio switch
Everyone
for me.
has it. Everyone has it. It's
Because
really
I
weird.
swear like a sailor off air. I really do.
Yeah.
I'll say bleeping if I ever get close enough. Like, that was bleeping great.
What's funny is I've gotten so accustomed to radio that I've gotten to a point where I say like the small curse words like damn and hell. Like I just free flow
I don't
them.
even, yeah.
Like some people just stay away from it entirely. I'm free flowing with stuff now.
I will say, I won't say, well, I'm going to do it right now. I won't say crap. I'll say crud, which is like a third grader's word, which is fun to say. It's kind of makes it funny in itself, but I'm super hesitant to say a lot of things. I've gotten in trouble a couple times for things I've said.
Well, Nate said a couple questionable things about his body parts.
But like, I don't know.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
You were questionable back there.
The pizza.
I was
the
baited
pizza-
into that. I was baited.
Carmichael Dave at his finest.
Carmichael
that was my
Dave and
fault.
the pizza.
That was my fault.
See, Dave baited me too on the Seattle thing.
No, that was my. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Why are you talking about your body parts?
I told you about this.
Now we got to
I
explain
told
that.
you about. Dave started talking about a pool party.
Yeah, man.
That's basically as far as I can get into
Yeah.
that because I got a nice little text message from our old boss a while ago.
Yeah.
But,
Can't do that.
No, it's fine. It's understandable. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I shouldn't talk about Seattle either.
Yeah, that's worse.
That was worse.
That's
Yeah.
worse because now you're creating enemies that like are into the show.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but I think you've made up for it.
I have. I made an apology. If you don't know, it's in the archives.
He wrote. Did you see? Did I tell you about that?
You
Yeah,
did.
he wrote
Yeah.
written apology.
It was really good. I think.
Yeah.
It went over well.
I did go over well, and you weren't going to win everyone back.
No, I knew that.
Yeah, but if you got 80%, that's a huge
Like
win.
Jess, especially, she's sticking around too. Like she was very mad at me when that happened, and
That's
I think
true.
I won her back. So I appreciate you for that.
Sometimes there's drama at the station that I'll just like mentally check out on, where I'm like, I'm not interested in this one.
Yeah.
The Seattle thing was one of those where I'm like, nope, not really interested in what's happening here. Just Emil's gonna do his thing and they'll
Yeah.
have their joke, but
Yeah.
there's some things that go under the radar.
I was board opping that one, so I got involved, and then
did.
obviously Emil being my partner here, you know, I had to stick
Yeah.
up for him.
I
But
appreciate
I drug you under the bus a little bit, though.
a little bit. It's okay.
It was
all right.
on different shows because I was telling people about it, and that I was being a little gossip, Gary.
Jess, you can be mad. It's okay. It's all right. We
Gossip
appreciate you watching it.
Gary.
And be mad at me. It's okay. It's okay. I deserve it, Jess. I'm mad at myself.
Anyways,
Like I was the biggest Kings fan last night at the Cavs game, man. I was
Oh.
every single three. I was losing my mind.
That's right. I should have. Did you have a media pass?
No.
Okay.
Ross gave me his tickets actually.
Paul says Emil's on probation. So yeah, I think you stand your probation for 6 months.
That's fine.
And you just don't say anything crazy.
No, that's fine.
When
Yeah.
you get off, and everyone forgets.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Uh-huh.
We're good. Yeah,
The fact that
I
we're
agree.
talking about it now is
Oh,
not
Jess said forever. Uh-oh.
yeah, well,
Probation forever. That's a little intense.
I'd say forgive but don't forget. That's,
I agree.
That's my motto.
I-
Seattle Emil showing up. Oh, this is good.
I don't think we should call him
Seattle.
Seattle.
Don't call me Seattle.
Let's
Mill.
not call him that.
I'm not Mauser now. Come on.
Just wait till
Yeah.
Seahawks week. Wait till Seahawks week.
Ew.
That'll
I,
be-
I don't like the Seahawks at all. I really don't.
No.
Like
No one does.
I actually didn't like the Niners signed Richard Sherman because he played for Seattle.
Yeah, I know.
I
I
did
didn't
not
like
like
that
it.
either.
It was like Chris Paul going to the Warriors. It was like
What has
it was
Seattle
horrible.
ever done to you? Oh, wait, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. They tried to take our franchise.
No, I was talking about the Michael Crabtree thing. I'm sorry I brought that up.
Yeah.
You
All
know.
of it. That's my least favorite moment in sports. Why did you ask me that last
Jake goes, "Who's a
couple weeks
meal?"
ago?
That's great.
Who's a meal?
First of all, it's with an A, not an E. I just want to clarify
Yeah.
that. So maybe that's
Yeah,
what
a
the
lot of
confusion
people
is.
do that.
It's common. It's
yeah.
the Hispanic way of saying it. Mine's the Italian way. It's okay. I understand it.
Emiliano.
Emiliano Fragoso.
Yeah.
Well, my middle name too. Emiliano Adon Fragoso. So it's
Adon?
Adon.
Like the Don of the Mafia?
Yeah.
Not too Don.
Adon. Yeah.
That was a
Hey, I'm not a snack. I'm
Yeah.
a meal anyway.
Emil?
A treat. He's a little treat.
Anyway.
Speaking of treats, thank you for the cookies, Kayla.
Yeah, thank you, Kayla.
Thank you, Kayla.
This is the longest.
Did you not put her on
recap.
camera?
Well, I mean, no, I should have.
I thought you did.
I mean,
didn't
no.
mean to say it
Kayla
in a
walked
mean
into
way.
the camera at one point.
Oh, okay.
That was what
I
happened
thought,
here.
yeah.
Now the two of you are together, almost there.
Together forever.
Well, we're running with this YouTube chat. I appreciate them staying 10 minutes after.
I know you guys are amazing. Thank you. We should probably wrap this up.
I get it. I mean, I
aren't
could
you?
literally
You got
do this
nothing to
all
do.
night.
You're staying here, right?
I am. I got us another show to do.
Yeah.
I got to be up in the morning. So
Yeah,
I
you
got to
doing the
do
morning
Dave,
show?
Dave and Jason and me in the morning. And
Ooh.
yeah, the
I'm
rest of the
Niners at
week.
9. Niners at 9. I'm
Is that
Milford tomorrow Wednesdays. Niners at
Are
9.
you in person?
No, StreamYard. I'm not coming into that time.
At that
Yeah.
unreasonable hour.
That
No,
unreasonable
it's got to
hour.
come from Loomis, though, dude. That's deep.
And the traffic at that time is why it's so bad.
It sucks.
It's
Oh,
bad.
where Dave?
That's-
One time you were late, and now you just won't risk it anymore because Dave got mad at you.
No, he didn't. He just pretends to be mad.
I know.
Dave got
Yeah.
mad at me because I didn't do crosstalk with him for like a week. It was really funny. I just wouldn't do crosstalk with him. Yeah, like when I remember I was filling in
Oh, yeah.
and I wouldn't do crosstalk with him. I like declined it. And Dave was like, "Is he mad at me?"
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to be like, "Yeah, Dave, mad at you." So I started calling him David.
Well, chat, we love you.
Yeah, chat. Thank
you so much. Loyal to the soil. We appreciate you guys. Kayla, tell them thanks.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Thanks,
This is
thanks
probably the
so
best
much.
post-show chat ever. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Back again next week. Again, sacktownsports.com for all articles Niner-wise. And then Niners at 9 every single day with Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross. Be there or be square. Love you all. Peace.